TaQuon, it seemed like you guys just really couldn't get anything going consistently in the first half offensively. What did you see?
We got some positive plays, and then we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot and get some negative stuff going, and then we couldn't really get any rhythm. Nothing was really consistent, so we couldn't really get anything going.
It seemed like you basically had to be perfect with all your reads, or it was going south.
Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job mixing it up a little bit. Missed a couple, but I mean, it's gonna happen sometimes. I mean, I'm not a perfect guy, so I try to be perfect, but it didn't always work out the way you want it to. But you just have to move on to the next play.
What did you see from Swift out there? Had a pretty strong day.
Yeah, he's pretty good back. They've got a couple good backs.
I imagine you weren't too excited when Hardiman started running down the field at you in that particular call. That's a tough matchup for any linebacker in the country.
Their game plan was to isolate me, and that's exactly what they did. So, I mean, if you want to take a 4-3 guy and put him up against I know what I run. It's just not good. But that's just, I mean, it was just a mismatch. So, that's what you get.
It seemed like they caught you guys guessing wrong a lot on defense in the first half. Was that kind of part of the issue with some of the blitzes and stuff? They seemed to catch it, right?
It was a combination of them checking out and running different plays, and then, you know, when we would have the right play call, we missed tackles. So, I mean, it's a combination of both.
Well, guys, just, I mean, can you put it into words? Obviously, that must be a really awful way to go out, you know, as seniors.
I mean, it's not awful. I wouldn't say that. Of course, it's not the way you want to go out in a rivalry game, but I mean, we're going to a bowl, so we can look at this one, learn from it, and then prepare for the bowl game. I mean, that's all we can really do. We can't just sit back and, you know, stay on this game. I mean, yeah, it's a huge game. We know what it means. We knew what it meant going into it. We didn't play our best today, and they exposed that. So we're just gonna have to look at the film and work on the things that we need to work on, and then from there keep going, because we got a bowl game to prepare for.
Speaking of the bowl game, you guys fought hard to get back to the bowl game. How much is that game going to mean to you guys?
It'll mean a lot, especially for the seniors. It'll be our last college football game, so it'll be a little emotional just being able to know, you know, we've come this far. How we started off and how we're finishing, and we're gonna want to finish on the right note. So everybody will be really excited to play, and it'll be a fun experience for the guys that haven't been to a bowl game.
Do you like the double pass call? You got to show your pass catch?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was looking forward to that when we were running it in practice. It's always exciting to be able to run a couple of trick plays. But yeah, I wanted to really score on it, but they had a lot of guys flowing from the backside.
Remind you of your A-back days?
Yeah, a little bit. It was fun, just being able to throw the ball out there, James, and then get a little trick play back to me, and kind of just being able to run in open grass. It was fun.
Is there a small margin of satisfaction that you got the last touchdown pass to Brad and got to at least have a little more something to show?
Oh yeah, and it's a special moment for the both of us. Just I know how hard he works, and just being able, especially our last game here at Sanford Stadium, just being able to put the ball up in the air and see him go up and make a big play. It's super exciting for me to see him be successful. So we had a little moment there on the sideline, so it's always, you know, special when we get a chance to connect.
Brant, how did they measure up, kind of compared to what you saw on film and what you anticipated?
I mean, we knew they were going to be a good team, the number 5 in the country. So, you know, we knew what was coming. We knew that they had a bunch of good athletes, and you know, we've got good athletes too. I mean, we expect to play with them, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you have a misfit here and there, and the guy breaks tackles and gain some yards on us. So, I mean, we expected to come in here and have a good game, but not really what it turned out to be.
On the kickoff return.
For the second year in a row, obviously they've done a good job defensively shutting down what you guys want to do. I think we only had a 128-yard rushing today. You know, is it just a talent that they just have? You know, last year they had Roquan Smith, I think, was in the middle of that. What is it kind of that has allowed them to have such success against the running game?
I think it's I don't think they were. I still don't think they were as good as they were last year. I think their experience, you could tell sometimes their experience kind of killed them. But I think we really killed ourselves a lot of the times. We had a lot of good plays, but then we have a good play and then have a bad play, and then when they have a lot of momentum, I mean, it's kind of hard to get yourself back on track and get back in the groove. I mean, I think they did a good job flying to the ball, running to the ball. They had a lot of people around the ball, so I mean, I think that's one of the things that they did that was pretty good. But I think we killed ourselves a lot of times. And if we hadn't done that, I think we would have had more yards rushing, had more yards on the ground, and would have been able to open it up a little bit more.
On the kickoff returns, what did you guys see, and did you think that might be kind of a momentum shift at the time?
Yeah, I didn't really think he was going to bring it out. I saw when he broke out on our sideline, I didn't really think he was going to return it, but then when he crossed midfield and then went all the way back, then I realized he's probably going to return it. But yeah, that's definitely a momentum swing, especially when they're up 14-0 and you get points up on the board and it happens to be one on special teams. Yeah, it's a momentum swing. It definitely will give your team confidence.
There was a 3rd and 10, you called timeout. Yeah, it looked like a triple option to Jerry, except there's some you checked out of something and then something else. You describe what happened in that play, and then the next one looked like maybe a draw. And you just described what happened on both plays.
Oh yeah, on one of them, everybody didn't get the check, so I got to make sure everyone gets the check when I check it. And then with the draw play, I mean, they really had a lot of guys backside. They didn't flow like we thought they would on that specific play. So I just tried to make a play. They kind of ate it up in the backfield.
It was really loud, I guess, in that meeting. I made the check.
Yeah, it was a lot louder than I remember, that's for sure.
Brant, in terms of the deep.
Kind of on this the past couple of years where they're seen as one of the top teams in the country. You guys just a couple of years ago had success against them. As you kind of watch them progress, what do you hope the guys that you guys are leaving behind, what do you think they can do to get back to going toe-to-toe with Jordan?
I don't think it's that we can't go toe-to-toe with them. I just think when we come here or when they come to our place, we just have to be able to execute. When you play good teams, you can't have the small mistakes or the simple mistakes because good teams will capitalize on it. So I don't think it's that we can't compete with them. I mean, they have athletes, we have athletes too. So I don't think that's the problem. I just think it's an execution thing, and when you get the opportunity to execute, you got to be able to execute. And if you don't, then good teams will, feed off of that.
Brant, in terms of the defense in the second half, were there any adjustments, or were they throttling back on you guys, or do you just feel like you were playing better?
Yeah, I mean, first half came out running a lot of strong reduction, which is put on 3 technique to the strength formation. And I mean, we had a little success with that, but I think for the most part they were figuring out our scheme pretty well. I mean, they got I think a couple guys went nasty. How are you figuring it out? But I think they had our number, and but we came out in the second half. We tried to go back to just our base stuff and tried to not call as many blitzes, and I don't know. I mean, ultimately the thing is when you're going against a team that runs zone read and stretch, you just got to fit your gaps. And when you start peeking and for the defensive linemen, for linebackers too, I mean, the running back sees what you see. So, if you peek, he's going to go where you left from. So, it was just all about discipline for us and making tackles. And so, but I mean, adjustments at halftime. I mean, I think we had a good scheme, and we just got to fit it up.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.